Hello everyone, my name is Dan. I am here to talk to you about how to set up your compiler and download your Java SDK before we get started with this course with it. If you could for me, I'm running Windows 7. It's a 32-bit operating system with it. And I'm running Windows, if you can open up your Windows Explorer, find your root directory. This is what I recommend you to do. So when you compile, it helps you with it. I click on my C drive, my root, and I create a subdirectory called Java. You can right mouse click on it and just do new and just create a folder called Java. That's where you're going to put everything inside of this thing. So open up a browser for me, and if you can type in, just search for Java SDK, something like that. Hit enter. And it should take you to the first link, which is the Oracle download page for this. And it looks like this. I've already done this, but I'm going to walk you through this to talk. Make sure you are if you can click on the Java download. This is the one, Java download SDK. And what you want to do is come down to the middle of this part and click on the accept the EULA agreement with it. And you got to listen here very carefully with this. I have a 32-bit system, so I'm going to use the Windows x86, which is this one right here, which is the i586 executable. If you're running a 64-bit, then you pick the last one that says x64. Okay, so I have both of these downloaded, as you can see. Now, where I put these things, I have a folder for our course on this thing. I have a folder called Java SDK, and I downloaded both of these so you could see. I will be using this one, the i56, the 856, is because I have a 32-bit system. I can't install the 64-bit because it's not the right matching bit for this thing. So I'm going to double click on this thing. I'm going to have to pause the recording here for a second to let this thing run. So I'm going to click yes. This is going to pop up. It's going to say next. I'm going to have it installed. Instead of here, here's what I'd like for you to do. You see this install to it here? You don't want this long path right here, all right? Because it's going to take you for a while to actually install all that stuff. So I recommend you do change. And if you shorten this for me down to C:\Java, that directory that we created a few minutes ago at the beginning, because point it to that root directory because we're going to compile everything on the DOS command with it as well. So you click OK. And then you click on, so it should say C:\Java, that directory, \. I'm going to point to it. It's going to let it run. I want to pause the recorder here for a second. So it's going to pick up recording. I'm going to pick up where we left off a few minutes ago, and it should take me to the screen right here. Now I want to point this out. It says, click change to install Java to a different folder. And it has this long path of C:, that's defaulted to program files and Java, and with this path right here. I'd like for you to change that for me. Click on that change and point to your C drive, Java, Java for me. All right, and just keep it on Java. That's okay. Keep it on Java for me. Click OK with this. I'd like for you to point it to that directory for me, and click on next for me. I want to let this thing run for a few minutes. Hold on. So let me resume. After you do all that stuff, all right, you get to this particular window right here. All you need to do is click on close it. Now I want to navigate to your Java, all right, to this. Ignore that directory 1 up there. I just had to rename that. That's because I had to reinstall this under the recording with this thing. What's more important is I want to point out you're at the root. The subdirectory is Java. Underneath the subdirectory of bin, you should find a file that's called Java C executable. Okay, Java C executable. So here's what I'd like for you to do next. You're going to create a file, your first file. Open up your notepad. Here's my notepad. It has to be a notepad in this thing. So in your notepad, let me just turn on the font on here so it'll be a little bigger so you can see. I'd like for you to compile our first program. It's the Hello World, like any Hello World program that you would actually compile. In every source code that you will have, I'd like for you to do // your name. Make sure you put your name. Put your name here. The second line I'd like for you to tell me what course this is. This is 1437, whatever section this is that you have. It's 8. And I need for you to tell me what this program is, the third line for this thing. So we're going to call this is my first Hello World program in Java. Okay? So the first thing that we need to talk about is in every programming language, it has to have what's called library files. Library files require you to actually go in, and so you could actually input in some scanners and all that stuff that you would actually have with this thing. So here's what I'd like for you to do. If you could for me, make sure you are able to, be comfortable. It helps if you can actually type in programming as well, so you can actually have a little faster keystrokes with it. But the first line I'd like for you to put in is you're going to import in java.utility scanner. Okay, like I have semicolon. This is your kind of like your library file that you're bringing in with this thing. Second one you're going to put in is a public class. The name of this class is very important. Watch. I call this Hello World, uppercase H, one word, naming identifiers with this thing. Inside this thing I have my left curly bracket closing out my right curly brackets. I also put in a public class, public static, void main. This is my main entrance to my code, is my string arguments. And inside of that I have another set of curly brackets. Inside of that I'm going to see how I indented this in. System dot out print line, and I'm going to put in here just into a string hello world close that off and a semicolon. Very important. This is very important. This next few steps I'm going to show you. Make sure now right now it's untitled under Notepad. So file, save as, and you're going to navigate to that folder, that bin folder. C Java bin. Inside my bin is where I want you to put it. Alright? What are you going to call this thing? Make sure you save it as uppercase hello, uppercase H, ELO is lowercase, world, uppercase W, lowercase ORLD, .java. Very important is that you do a pull down on this save as type field, select all files for me please, or else it's going to tack on a .txt, which is not the proper file. And then you click on save. So this saves it. Now, I'd like for you to go to your start button, just type in CMD for a command line, open up the DOS. It opens this DOS environment. I hope you can see this. Let me change this so you can make this a little bigger for you can see. I think that's the largest I could do. So a couple of DOS commands. cd ... will back you up to the root directory. The prompt right now is defaulted to the user, whoever logs into the thing. I'd like for you cd ... all the way back to the root for C. cd space Java will change directory to Java directory. cd bin is the subdirectory for that. And I'm going to open up this a little bit wider so you can see the rest of this. So I'm going to do dir. Make sure you have dir. So I save this file as hello world.java. Now hopefully I put it in here. It should be in this directory. Here it is. Okay. So this is the file I have right now. It's .java. It's this date right here. So here's what we need to do. So if you could for me come down to the bottom of this thing, and also if you could also make sure I showed to you earlier was the Java C. This is how you compile. This is how you compile. So you see on here that you have a Java C executable right here, right? So scroll to the bottom, make sure you're in the directory, in the Java bin directory. You're going to do Java C space, the name of that file. The name of that file is hello world, exactly what I have, Java dot with the file extension .java, so Java C stands for compile, hello world, uppercase H, uppercase W, everything lowercase .java. I hit enter, If I did this right, I don't have any syntax errors. That create what's called a class file. Now, I need to create, it's similar to if you had me for 1436. This is similar when you compile without any syntax errors, without runtime errors or logical errors. This is what you get. So you should generate what's called a class file. This class file should be at the bottom of this thing. Somewhere at the bottom here if I ran dir again for it. But before we do that, we need to actually run the class file. So just do Java for me. No C, Java, and the name of the file without the file extension, so hello world. All right, so I just do hello world. That's the class file. Hit enter. There it is, hello world. All right, so this, what am I trying to say? In C++ or 1436, when you compile, ultimately what you're trying to do is when you create that file, is you create the executable, the .class file. I'm going to do this dir again for you. So if I scroll up to the top where you will see the hello world, here's the hello world.java. Right above it, you should see the .class file. All right. So we'll talk more about what is a class file and what is the source code. Your source code is your Java, the equivalent to your .cpp file for 1436 for your C++ class. Okay. So let me check this time. Everything's cool.